everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I would like to introduce Betty. She is 9.5 weeks old and she's adorable, but she's pretty curious and she likes to explore a lot. So having this new puppy and this new experience led to a thought of, well, how curious am I in my life? And do I explore enough where I can? And maybe there's other possibilities of where I can explore more. So in today's practice, I invite you to maybe tap into your curiosity and your exploration as you practice with breath and movement. So say bye, Betty. And this is Ruby. She's going to take her, my beautiful assistant. Go ahead, take her upstairs. Thank you. So as we begin today, let's find our seat. I'm propped up on a nice cushion. You may like to sit on a folded blanket. For props today, I definitely do recommend a blanket or a rolled up towel that you can use. It's nice to have the hips elevated a little bit, or maybe use it as cushioning for the knees if that feels good for your knees. I will be using blocks today, so if you have blocks, great, use them. If not, a stack of books, or you can even use a water bottle for the height. That can be really helpful. So go ahead and press pause on the video if you need to go and grab those things. If not, find your seat, close your eyes, and let's begin on our curious journey of movement. Inhaling and exhaling to let it go. And now with those breaths having just settled in a little bit, give yourself the permission to be here. Let everything else fall away and be with your breath. And now let's move our breath to a 4-part breath, where we'll inhale to a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold for a count of 4. And I want the count of 4 to be your count of 4, so you're following your breath. Hold. Hold. Now as you breathe, continue breathing in for 4, holding for 4, out for 4, holding for 4. Begin to notice the pause, where you're holding your breath in between the inhale and the exhale. And just notice it. Observe maybe what happens in this space, in this pause. In this type of breath, exploring that pause allows you a chance to connect to yourself, to slow your thoughts down and focus inward. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And now let your breath return to its natural rhythm and movement. Take your hands and just rub your thighs. And you can take your hands and rub them against the skin on your arms. And just feeling your body awaken. Feel that energy just by moving your hands across your legs and your arms that you're creating. Preparing the body for movement. Maybe brushing off some of the old, getting ready to bring some of the new fresh in. Your shoulders back and down. Feel your sit bones heavy as your spine extends long, feeling the crown of the head extending as the neck is long. The chin is slightly tucked. And let your tongue be flat in the roof of your mouth. And now bring your hands to your knees and begin to inhale like a cat-cow. So inhale, expanding, lifting the heart, and exhale, rounding through the spine and shoulders. Inhale, lead with the heart, chin slightly lifts. Exhale, rounding the spine. One more time. And then coming back to that seated position with a neutral spine, let's find some barrel rolls. So inhaling, bringing the chest forward, and exhaling as you round the spine. And move with your breath. Move with your range of motion. Try to keep your sit bones down on the earth. And once you've done 3 or 4 moving with your breath, come back to center and let's switch sides. So exhaling as we round and inhaling, bringing the chest forward. Maybe you find some sticky spots and feel free to just linger in those and send some breath their way. Coming back to that neutral seated position, you can go ahead and remove your seat if you'd like. And then at the front of your mat, I'm going to move to the front of my mat. You can come onto your knees, and you can always place a blanket under your knees if that feels better, giving your knees some cushion. Let's reach our wrists out in front of us and clasp our hands together. And with our arms straight in line with our shoulders, let's begin to draw some figure 8s with our wrists, really moving the wrists, working into them. I don't know about you, but I'm getting some popping and cracking. And then switch the other way. And that may feel kind of weird, but sometimes that's what being curious is about. It's about being a little weird, so have fun with that. And then just shake your hands out, shake your wrists out, maybe flap your hands, and come into your table position. And in table, we're looking for the hands to be under the shoulders and the knees to be under the hips, or as best as you can. A slight bend in the elbows, and really press into your hands so that they look like starfish. And strongly pressing into the L shape of your hand, being where your thumb and your pointer finger are. And when you do that, and you can almost feel a little bit of space in the palm, the center of the palm of your hand, and that helps protect your carpal area. So let's respect that and push our hands into the mat so our shoulders are strong. We don't want to sag. We want to be strong through the back. And let's just find a couple movements with our hips here. So you may find some natural movements that feel good to you right now. But seeing as I showed you my new little puppy Betty, why don't we wag our tail? So inhale, and as you exhale, look over your left shoulder to your left foot. Inhale through center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder to your right foot. And inhale through center. Just find that movement, wagging your tail. And again, be explorative. Be curious in your body here. Maybe you like to bring your hips over a little further. Maybe you want want to sit back when you do this. This is your practice, so honor your body while we wake these hips up. And come back to center in your table. Extend the right foot behind you, touching the toes to the earth. Inhale, strong through the shoulders, crown is long, neck is long, and exhale, press into that heel and start to pump that heel back, waking up the ankle and the shin and the calf for just a few breaths. And now shift your weight onto your left knee. Inhale to lift the right leg and cross it over behind your left leg. Press into the right toes and look over press into the right toes and look over your left shoulder so you can see your toes. Really press into that heel, opening up the right side of the body a little bit. Inhale, lift the extended leg back behind you and draw the knee under the hip. Other side. Inhale, lift the right leg this time. Place the toes on the earth and begin to press into that heel. Feeling the ankle, the Achilles. Sometimes people feel this in their hip, psoas area too. So just saying good morning or good evening or hello to all those spaces that you are working into. And inhale, lift the leg up, flex the foot, cross it over behind the right leg, and look over your right shoulder at your left toes and begin to press into the toes, press firmly into the hands, into the mat, and breathe. Inhale, bring that leg back behind you and set the knee under your hips. And go ahead and just come side to side. And tuck your toes, walk your hands back. And again, you can pump your hands. Maybe you bring the backs of your hands together, pressing them together, feeling that reverse flexion. That could feel really nice sometimes. Shaking it out. So in table, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and walk your hands back. So you're at the back of your mat in a forward bend, Uttanasana. And maybe your knees have a little bend to them, or maybe they're a little bit more straight. And let your head fall and just shake it side to side. Inhale to a halfway lift. You can use blocks here. Your hands can come to shins, but draw the shoulders back and down and feel long through the back, long through the neck. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms wide up to Tadasana. Shoulders come away from the ears, arms are lifted up. And as you exhale, sit your hips back as your weight comes into your heels slightly as we find chair, Utkatasana. The tailbone is slightly tucked. We're keeping the spine long, lifting the heart. You can have your hands at heart center if that feels better for you. One more inhale, and as we exhale, back down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees a little bit and sweep the arms wide. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, sit back into chair. Take a glance down and make sure your knees are staying behind your toes. You can draw the hands to heart center if you'd like. Take an inhale. And exhale, fold Uttanasana. Let's go through that one more time. We'll add on a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit back into chair. And breathe. let's explore a little bit. Can you sink a little deeper? Feeling the thighs engage? Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, hands to your side. Take a breath. We're going to go back to that chair. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, sit down into your chair, feeling the legs engage. It's almost like you have a rubber band around your thighs, energizing your thighs towards each other. And now this time, shift your weight onto your left foot, and you can kickstand onto the right toes, or if you are brave, lift those right toes up, and let's pulse on the standing leg. Having a gazing point can be very helpful, or a drishti. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to chair, stay in chair. Now shift your weight over to the right foot, lift onto your left toes, or get curious and lift those toes up, and let's pulse it out for 8. Use your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to chair. Bring your hands to heart center. Heart is lifted, shoulders are down, low abdominals drawn in slightly. Inhale. Now turn from the belly to the right, bringing the left elbow towards the right knee. Just a little baby twist. Feel long tailbone to top of the head. Inhale through center. Exhale. This time right elbow just barely touches the left knee. You can press your hands together. Again, feeling long tailbone to top of head. And back to center. Inhale. Rise up, exhale, hands to sides. And then we're going to explore a fun breath using chair. And this one really energizes the body, so feel free to get into it. Feel free to hear your breath. Don't be afraid of your own breath, the sound of your own body. And it looks like this. We're going to inhale and exhale, squatting back to a chair. So let's do it together. Your feet are underneath your hips. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, make fists with your hands. Inhale deeply. Exhale. One more. And inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, hands rise up. Exhale, Uttanasana. And now bend your knees and walk your hands back towards the front of your mat. We're going to come into plank position. So in plank, slightly bend the elbows. And again, instead of sinking, stay strong through the body. Press through those heels. The core and the glutes are engaged. And I'm really pressing my hands into the mat, pressing away. So I'm almost puffing up that little space between my shoulder blades. So if this plank is too much, you do have the option to come to your knees at any point. But we're going to stay in plank for 3 more breaths. Shaking is good. And now drop to your knees. So you're in a kneeling plank now. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, and we want the elbows to stay close to the ribs. The head is extending out of the spine, so your neck is straight. Your gaze is towards the front edge of your mat. And inhale. As you exhale, let's do 3 little yogi push-ups here. Again, squeezing those elbows in towards the ribs. And that was 3. Not too bad. You could do it, right? Inhale, and as you exhale, sit the hips back, tent the fingers up, and draw the shoulder blades down the back. So this is an active stretch for the arms and shoulders. Inhale, place your hands on the floor as you exhale, flat palms. And now pretend you're going to roll a marble with your nose to the front of the mat. So inhale, and as you exhale, let the forearms come down to the mat and roll that marble with your nose. Inhaling up into a cobra. So tops of the feet are on the earth, elbows are in, lifting the heart. Stay for another breath. And exhale, lower down. Press up through table. And we're going to do that again. So come into that kneeling plank, extending the neck long so we don't want to hang the head. Inhale, and as you exhale, 3 yogi push-ups. This will help so much if you're doing chaturangas. Keep the shoulders strong. Inhale. Now as you exhale, sit back. Tent those fingers, draw the shoulders down. Pressing the fingertips into the earth. And if this is too intense, you can always leave your palms on the floor. But let's everybody bring their palms to the floor and inhale before we exhale to roll that marble forward. Inhaling. Shoulders back and down into that cobra. Press the pubic bone and the tops of the feet into the earth. And exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, press up through table. Come to that kneeling plank. And if you're getting too tired, you could always just do push-ups from table. So that's an option. If not, come to that kneeling plank and let's go. 3 more. Elbows to ribs. 2, use your breath. 1, press up, sit back, stretch the arms and the shoulders. Let it all go. Feel that heat that has been built in the arms. Flatten the palms, forearms to the ground. Inhale, roll that marble forward. And now you can inhale to an up dog if you'd like, lifting through the heart. And then exhale, come back to table. I'm going to turn to the long edge of my mat. You can stay at the front edge of your mat. This just helps for a visual so you can see me better. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with gate pose and a new move that I learned called awkward dog. So hang with me on it and see if you like it. You never know until you try. So again, we're going to be on our knees. So if you'd like to place a blanket underneath your knees for some cushion, go ahead and make that arrangement now. Shoulders are easily away from the shoulders, just hanging out with the arms at the sides. And now take a look at your right leg and make sure that it's underneath your right hip. And bring the left leg out to the side. And the toes can be facing forward, or you can prop up on the heel. Either way, no matter what, we want to make sure there's a slight micro bend in that knee. It's not locked out, so let's protect our joints. So find which way feels good to you. And inhale, lift the arms up and make a little steeple, releasing your pointer finger and your thumb, shoulders down away from the ears, and think strong and long through the core and the torso. Inhale, reach up, exhale, side bend over to the left. And this is gate pose. I want you to be curious here. So if this doesn't feel good to you, maybe you want to use your arms by reaching the left arm down, right arm up, or the left arm coming across the leg. So you find what feels good to you. And as you breathe, feel long through both sides of the torso. And let your breath guide how far you can go. You want to find that edge. We're not straining. There's no pain. We're getting a good stretch. Inhale, arms back up. Bring your hands down to table. Inhale the right arm up. And exhale, thread the needle, bringing the left arm under the right. And your right cheek to the earth. And you can extend your left arm overhead, or you can just leave it right in front of your gaze there. Sometimes it feels good to open up that left arm, or you may bind it behind you. Again, be curious for what feels good in your body. Explore a little bit. Right now, this is feeling really nice to me to extend my arm up high. And place that left hand down on the earth. Press your body up. And here comes the fun new part. So walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat. Press your hands into the earth. Tuck your right toes under. Inhale, and as you exhale, send the hips high, coming into what we call awkward dog. So it's almost like a really wide-legged down dog, and we're pressing our hands into the earth, pressing away from the earth. And just see how this feels different in your body than a regular dog. Maybe you can lift your hips a little higher. Maybe you can really feel that length from the tailbone traveling all the way down the spine to the tip of the crown. On your exhale, come forward. Lower the back knees back onto the mat, preparing for the other side. Go ahead and extend your right leg out to the side, and your left knee is under your left hip. And you can choose to be on the heel or toes pointing forward, keeping that micro bend in the knee. Inhale, reach up, steeple fingers, shoulders away from ears. Inhale for length, and exhale long through the torso as we explore gate pose. Again, feel free to either stretch the arms out in opposite direction or bring that right arm along the bottom leg, extended leg. And maybe explore with your gaze. Maybe it comes up to your hand. For me, it feels better to look forward, or you can even look down. Enjoy the stretch and the openness through that left side of the body, feeling long. And inhale, arms come up and then down into table hands. Inhaling with that left arm and then rotating from the belly, thread the needle. Bringing the left cheek down to the earth. You can leave your hand there, or you can extend the right hand out in front of you. Again, explore, get curious. Maybe it binds behind. It's kind of cool to see the different sides of our body may be different. On this side, the bind feels really nice for me, and on the other side, lifting my arm felt good. So just listen to your body and accept where it's at. Bringing the hand back down to the earth and pressing up. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to walk our hands over to the left side of that mat and firmly press your hands into the earth. Tuck the toes under and exhale to lift the hips into this awkward dog. And for me, I can really feel where I can lift my hips, releasing my tailbone, drawing my low belly in, and that allows a beautiful stretch in my shoulders. Not straining, no pain, just finding that edge. Now lowering back down onto the knees. You can stay where you're at. I'm going to move back on my mat. We're going to go into a downward dog now, a regular downward dog. So Hands are about the width of the mat, and really press into that L shape of the hand. Also press into the pinky, especially pressing away from the mat to lift the hips high, and the ears come between the shoulders. You might notice that your triceps seem to almost roll back while your biceps roll forward, and the elbows are energetically working towards each other. So again, almost like there's a rubber band trying to bring your arms together while you push into the floor. And it might feel good to walk the dog out and just notice how different this dog feels than that awkward dog we were just exploring. Maybe connect with a nice ujjayi breath here. Now inhale, lift that right leg high and hold for a breath. And inhale, and on your exhale, come to a low lunge, bringing that right foot through. This is a time when you may like blocks here. Feel long through the back side, through the back leg. And now notice as you push your front heel into the earth, it almost draws back, really engaging the leg and the glute. And this hip, the left hip almost draws forward, so you have them drawing towards each other, creating some tension in the legs, creating some strength in the legs. The neck is long, and let's breathe. You may like a blanket to lower underneath your back knee. We're going to lower it down to the earth. And then we're going to come to Ardha Hanumanasana. So shift the hips back. And if you have water bottles, a book, a block, whatever you're using, you may like them to come back with you so you can keep the spine straight. And you'll notice that my front foot is lifted. My toes are pulling back towards me. Another option would be to caterpillar those toes forward a little bit if you want to find a little bit more length. And then lift the toes towards you. And let's talk about these hips. So it's really easy to kind of turn and twerk our bodies, but let's try to keep them in line with each other. And then let's explore some movement here in Ardha Hanumanasana. Pump the foot. And what I've really been liking lately is to turn that foot, and feel that nice release. I feel it in my shin. I feel it in my hip. But what's cool is we're all going to feel it differently. But remember just to find that edge of stretch, no pain, no strain. And then turn it the other way. Coming back to center. And then bend the right knee. You can bring your blocks forward with you if you'd like, or no blocks or short blocks, however feels good to you. And lift that back knee by pressing into the back heel. Again, check your hips. Remember that front heel is drawing towards the back, and the back hip is drawing forward. So now you have that tension so that you can begin to lift up and feel your core engage as the hands just dangle. Your core and your legs are supporting your foundation now. And inhale, lifting up, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Draw the hands together, finding that steeple mudra again, releasing the pointer finger and the thumb. Check your hips, that they are level in space. And maybe your gaze comes upward. Maybe it stays straight. Maybe it looks down at your toes. Please ensure that your front knee is not past your front ankle. Really lifting through the heart here. One more big breath. Now inhale, release the hands. Exhale, windmill the hands back down to the earth. And step your back leg forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center, right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, your blocks might be helpful. Let's step the right leg back this time, left leg in front. Square those hips and feel the spine long, reaching through the crown. Traction those feet towards each other so that heel draws towards the back and the back hip towards the front. Drop that back knee down. Again, you can use that blanket if it feels good. And let's go into our Ardha Hanumanasana. So extending back, you may want to bring those blocks with you, keeping the back long. It's almost like a ramp. And now breathe, feeling that hamstring, pulling the toes towards you, and maybe you rock that foot forward and back, being sure to keep a nice micro bend in the knee. And now explore what feels good. Moving into that hip, taking a couple breaths in each direction. Maybe bringing the toes in the opposite direction. And bring the toes back to center, lifting the heart. Let's bring those blocks forward if you're using them, or you can have your hands to the earth, either way. Tuck the back toes, pop up that back knee, pressing into the back heel. And check the alignment that the knee is not going past the ankle of the front leg. And work your hips towards square so they're in line. And then with that traction, bringing the front heel towards, pressing into the earth so that you're bringing the front heel towards the back hip towards the front. Let the arms go. Engage the core and up we go. Inhaling. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Bring the hands together. Release the thumb and forefinger. Maybe your gaze comes up. Lift through the heart. Being mindful that your shoulders are down away from your ears. One more breath. Inhale, release the arms. Exhale, windmill them down to the mat, setting your blocks aside and stepping back into plank just for a transition back to downward facing dog. And just to make the left side feel balanced, inhale, lift that leg up, and exhale, step the leg forward between the hands, bring your right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands at heart center, and breathe. Maybe you close your eyes and check in. Maybe feeling the heart beat. Noticing the pause between your inhales and your exhales. Connecting to yourself. And we're going to move to a warrior two. So stay at the front of your mat. I'm just going to switch sides so that I can mirror you better. We're going to come to warrior two. So inhale, and as you exhale, step your right foot back. Left foot stays in front, and your right toes are facing the long edge of the mat. The right toes are facing the long edge of the mat. The left knee is over or slightly behind the front ankle. Inhale, arms long, gaze over your front fingers. And again, feel that strength by pressing your feet into the mat. It's almost as if you're dragging that front foot back and you're dragging the back foot forward. So it's almost like scrunching up your mat, and you'll really feel grounded, strong in the legs. Stay for another breath. And And now inhale, flip the hand and reverse your warrior. You can bring the hand up or slightly bend it, bringing the bicep towards the ear. Stay strong in the legs and breathe. Feeling that front side body working. Inhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Some people like to angle their back foot out slightly, bringing the back toes towards the front of the mat slightly. Some like it straight, so figure out what works good in your body. And now just like pretending there was a counter that you were reaching over, bring the right hip back and reach over, really extend over like you're reaching for something on that counter. Inhale and exhale, bring the left fingertips down towards the floor, right fingertips high for Trikonasana. Now feel that top hip back in space, lengthening from the crown to the tailbone. And if you're here, that's cool. You may like a block on the ground too. Make sure to keep a micro bend in that knee to not lock out the joint. Gaze can be up, forward, or down. You choose. Bring the gaze back down to the earth. Now bend your front knee so that it's over your ankle. You can place your elbow on the front knee, or you can keep your hand on the earth. You choose. We're coming to extended side angle, bringing the top arm towards the ear, reaching long, pressing through that back foot. Now with strength, bring the top arm back, press into your feet, use your core, back to warrior two, and smile. Take a nice sigh. 2 more breaths. And then step back towards the front of your mat. Staying at the front of your mat, I'm just switching sides again so you guys can see better. We're going to work the left side now. So inhale, and as you exhale, step the left foot behind you so the left toes face the long edge of the mat, and the right toes are facing the front short edge of the mat. Finding our roots, pressing into the feet, lifting the arches to engage the legs. The front knee is mindfully tracking in line with the front toes, so we want to make sure that you can see the front inside of your foot when you look down. We don't want that knee to collapse in. Keep it open. So the inner thigh of the front leg is working up and out. Pressing into those feet. Again, think of scrunching the mat up with your feet. Inhale, arms come to shoulder height. Looking over those front fingers. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, that front leg straight, still pressing into those feet, feeling the energy come from the ground up. Inhale, as you exhale, bring that back hip behind you, reaching long over that imaginary counter, just like there's something there you can almost get. And once you feel long, bring the bottom arm down towards the earth, top arm up, and extend long through the spine. So we're not arching through the rib cage. Rib cage is working towards lengthening out, long through both sides, the underside and the top side of the torso. And where do you want your head to be? Do you want to look down? Maybe you want to gaze up. No straining. Breathe. Feel long. Bend that front knee. Maybe your elbow comes to the knee or to the earth. And extend that top arm long, extended side angle. Your gaze can come up or down or out in front. Feeling long through the body, really pressing through the outer edge of that back foot. And staying for 2 more breaths here. Shoulder comes away from the ear. I just noticed I was scrunching mine up. Keep some space there. And windmill that hand down, using your core to come back to warrior 2. Stay for a breath. And step to the front of your mat. Take a couple nice breaths here. Again, noticing the pause between each inhale and each exhale. Now you can stay at the front of your mat. I'm going to come to the side of the mat. We're going to have some fun in tree because I can't think of another great pose to do that doesn't allow some options for exploring some curiosity. So with your feet underneath your hips, just kind of rock forward and back or maybe side to side so that we can really feel grounded in our feet. And in this Tadasana pose, lift your toes for a moment and feel where you're strongly connected. The balls of the feet, the heels. And now 1 toe at a time, pinky toe, toe number 4, toe number 3, toe number 2, and then try to get toe number 1. That's really hard. Feel yourself grounded into the earth. And maybe just close your eyes as your shoulders relax for a moment. Having that proprioception of where we are in space. And now open your eyes, find a drishti, which is a gazing point, and lock in on it. Shift your weight into your left foot. And your right foot can come to your ankle by your shin, or you can bring it up to the inner thigh, avoiding the knee joint at all causes, and press your foot into your inner thigh and your inner thigh into your foot. That allows you to stay lengthened through this supporting leg's hip. We want to make sure we're not sagging into that. Where do you want your hands today? Do you feel like your hand center is where you're at? Do you want to explore by opening up your arms or maybe growing tall? No matter what you're doing, we're always breathing. Finding that pressure, foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Breathe. Tree sway, it's okay. And then exhale, bring your hands down, lower the foot down, and you can shake it out or bend your knees if you need to. Again, coming back to that Tadasana pose with feet under hips, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Breathe. Feeling grounded again, lift your toes up and pinky toe, toe number 4, toe number 3, toe number 2, and 1. Connect to the earth, connect to your breath. And find your drishti, your gazing point, and now shift your weight over to that right foot. The left foot can come to the ankle, can come to the shin, skip the knee joint, or it can come to that inner thigh, really pressing into each other. And when you do that, you'll feel that lower abdominal area, that hip area lift up. And where are your arms going to go? You decide. Maybe you even try to find some movement, a little bit of extra work for the core today. And you can even bring your hands up, finding that mudra with the steeple fingers. Shoulders stay down away from your ears. I can feel my breath moving up and down my spine, inflating my belly and letting it release. It helps with the focus. It helps with the balance. Check your toes to see if you're gripping the earth. One more breath. And release the arms, release the feet, and go ahead and shake it out. Maybe find some bear twists. Just enjoy this. All right, and coming to the front of your mat if you're not already there, in Tadasana. Inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Hands can come to shins or blocks. And exhale, fold. And take your right hand, placing it behind your left ankle and opposite. So left hand over right ankle. And let your head hang, and maybe use that traction, pulling your forehead towards your shins, lifting the hips by drawing the abdominals in, so sucking that belly button in and up. Inhale to a halfway lift. Now switch sides, so the opposite of what you were just doing, the one that's going to feel a little different, a little strange. And explore that. Again, drawing the navel to spine to lift the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and just ragdoll. Let it go. Maybe you hold your elbows. Maybe a halfway lift feels good to you. And then bend your knees, bringing your hands to the earth. And step back into a plank. We're only going to be here for a moment. Press the hands firmly into the earth. And take your right knee and lift your right knee up so it's floating. Extend that right foot through underneath the left hand and the left leg. Turn your left toes towards the long edge of the mat. And inhale, reach the left arm high. Fallen triangle. And really press down into the feet and lift open with the heart. 2 more breaths. Bring the hand back down to the earth. Press firmly into the hands. Use your abdominals to draw the right knee back in and step back into plank. Now inhale, bring the left knee in and extend the left foot underneath the right arm. Inhale, and as you exhale, rotate that back foot so your toes face the long edge of the mat, and inhale to open up. Fallen triangle. Really pressing firmly into that hand that's on the mat. Pressing away and lifting the hips while you lift your arm high. 1 more breath. Bring the hand back down to the mat. Once you're firmly connected to the earth, draw the knee in, extend it back into plank, and hold. You can drop to your knees if you like, and stay here. And then slowly walk your feet forward into a Tadasana forward bend. Bend your knees, coming into a little yogi squat, and come up on your toes. Maybe a little balance here. So you can keep your fingertips just lightly touching the floor if that helps. And try to extend the spine so it's long. So if you can bring your fingertips up. And maybe your gaze comes forward. Strengthening the feet here. Also finding a stretch in the feet. And how tall can you get your spine? Draw the low belly in. And then bring the arms out in front of you. And if you have a block handy, grab that block and hold it out at shoulder height and press your hands into the block, feeling the arms engage. We would like the core to engage here too, so take an inhale, and with an exhale, feel your abdominals draw in. Keep them drawn in. Now lower your heels down onto the earth, keeping that block in front of you, or your hands can be pressed together, and then back to your hips. And then we are now in boat. You can keep your toes down on the earth if that helps. Really lift through the heart. So you have a little anterior tilt in the tail here, but we're not excessively tilting. We want to keep the heart lifted. And you can keep your toes flexed, bringing your toes towards you. And now we're going to have some fun. So if you have a block, great. If you don't need it. Just press your hands together. Let's find some abdominal work in the obliques. Gazes forward. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You know the drill now. Keep moving with your breath. Oh, it's okay to bring your toes down at any point. We've got 2 more on each side. Here we go. 1. Inhale. Inhale. 2. 2. Good. Hold it here. Hold, hold, hold. And then bring your feet forward and release your block down. Roll the shoulders back and ever so slowly round your spine down to the earth. And shoulders and neck and head come down last. Bring your feet in so that your ankles are close to your glutes but not touching. We really want more of the ankle to be under the knee. And then keep your shoulder blades back and down behind you. And find the earth with your hands. So take your palms, take your forearms, take the backs of your upper arm and press them into the earth and feel that resistance. And when you start to press, it almost lifts your heart a little bit. So we're going to take the heart and lift it slightly and then press our heels into the earth as the hips come up. The gaze is up and the chin is slightly tucked. Listen carefully. Inhale. Shift your weight into your left foot as you bring your right foot up towards a 90-degree angle. Now we're going to pulse working into the glute. So inhale and exhale with the movement. Inhale, lower the hip. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Let's go. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Place the lifted foot down on the earth. Keep the knees working towards each other. Pressing into those backs of the arms and the palms. Now lift your left knee up. Pressing that grounded heel into the earth. Inhale the lower. Exhale the lift. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Move with your breath. Last one. Hold here. Take a breath. And lower the foot down. Hold for a moment. And then exhale. Hips come down. Take a breath. And now let's go to the bridge that I think more of us are familiar with. Inhale, pressing into those heels, lift the hips. You can draw the shoulder blades under if that feels good to you. Clasp the hands together maybe. And breathe. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Abdominals are slightly engaged. The heels are pressing down into the earth and drawing towards your hands. The glutes are engaged, but definitely not clenched. And the neck is long. And really feel the weight in the backs of your shoulders here. It's a wonderful heart opener. Keep the knees working towards each other. 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, unwind the shoulders, lower the hips. Maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side. Keeping the knees bent, feet on the floor. Inhale, bring your right leg up and cross it over, coming into a figure 4. So the right ankle comes to the top of the right thigh. And you may like to press the knee away, or maybe this feels good. So you can stay here. Please keep the lifted foot flexed to protect the knee and the ankle. And now inhale. And as you exhale, lift the left foot up, drawing the left leg towards you, the right leg towards you, and keeping that tailbone working down. Where's your breath? One more. And exhale, draws the left foot back down to the ground. Keep the right ankle over the left knee. And now inhale, and as you exhale, bring that flexed right foot down to the earth, coming into a twist. You can bring your back arm out to a T, front arm out to a T, and maybe your head looks over your right shoulder. Don't force anything here, let it all go. And if you are tensing up the shoulders or the hips or the arms or the feet, just release it. Next inhale, draws the leg back up. Inhale, reach that right leg to the sky and just give a little ankle roll. And switch directions. And lower down. Other side. Inhale, left leg high, cross it over so the left ankle meets the right thigh. And you may stay here, feeling a little stretch perhaps. Or you can inhale and exhale, lifting that right leg towards you, drawing in the left foot towards you, keeping the feet flexed. Crown to tailbone is nice and long, feeling the earth. Might feel good to close your eyes and really connect to your breath. Now, inhale, and as you exhale, arms can come to T if you like. Bring that right foot down to the earth, and then keeping that top foot flexed, lower it down until it meets the earth. You can draw your head past your opposite shoulder and just melt wherever you can. Soften wherever you can. Inhale back through center. And let's do a little ankle roll on this foot, both directions. So make sure you switch it. And then, what a fun exploratory pose, happy baby. So maybe you do half happy baby, drawing one leg in at a time. Or maybe you go for happy baby, bringing both legs in. And babies rock. Babies also extend one leg up and then the other leg up. Just like puppies, young babies are curious. So connect with that and be curious. What feels good to you today? And just for fun, bring your feet up, your hands up, and just shake it all out. Anything else that you're holding as tension, release it. And then draw the knees in, give them a little hug. And exhale. Release your legs nice and long. Bring the shoulder blades behind you. Arms come out to the side. As we prepare for Shavasana, final pose. Connect with your breath again. just the way we began, find that 4-part breath where we inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Release for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now take a deep breath and sigh it out. And find your normal, natural breath. And draw your attention to your body. And explore how it feels, where your breath leads you. Softening the forehead, the cheeks, the neck and shoulders. The palms are open, feeling the backs of the hands supported by the earth. The hips are open and free. And the legs heavy. The toes are free from supporting you. And the bottom side of the body, just like roots, are going deep into the earth. Connect with that space between each breath, that little pause that connects us to who we are so we can explore and find curiosity. Take a minute of your own breathing in Shavasana, and I will let you know when it's time. Take a nice big inhale, maybe reaching overhead, and extend your reach on your exhale. Inhale to draw the knees in or come to your side. And begin to rock yourself up. If this doesn't feel good on your spine, just press yourself up to a seated position. You can grab your blanket or your cushion and find your seat. Hands to your knees, maybe closing in your thumb and pointer finger, closing in the energy. Spine is long, heart is lifted. The fun and the curiosity that's in me honors the fun and the curiosity that's in you. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy. Take good care.